Okay, so this is one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
So you probably know what I'm gonna ask you about.
I never know what Shelby's gonna ask me, so I'm always a little bit like, what's it gonna be?
On edge. Birch.
Oh, Birch.
And I love your story about the Vikings with Birch.
Right.
And to me, it smells like root beer.
It does. It smells like root beer. Some people think it smells like wintergreen gum, which is surprising for a tree because you're expecting something like resinous, earthy. But it smells like wintergreen gum or root beer.
And
So
I love to ask people that too.
I'm going to look up exactly what I have written in my research for Birch because
whenever people come in and they want something with Birch, I always ask them if they think it smells like root beer.
So the spiritual messaging of Birch is a reminder that no matter what, you're always going to be okay. So it's a reminder that no matter what's going on in life, you're always connected to you're always connected to your own answers, your own guidance, and your own higher path. So it's super just reassuring. People say it makes them feel like a little bit more courageous. So it's got that sort of like lovely, nourishing energy to it. And what you were talking about with the Vikings is, there's these fascinating historical references we come across, or I came across when we were doing the research on this. And the way the Vikings would use birch, and I'm sure they have lots of ways they used it, but typically they used it a lot in their saunas. So they would take the birch branches, and that's what they would use to like dip in the water and then like put the water on themselves when they were going to the sauna. Which is fascinating because, of course, then they're sort of integrating the energy of that plant or of that tree whilst in the sauna. And, of course, sauna is a really important part of that culture. And you just think about, sort of the feelings around that culture. And Viking culture was very courageous, and very capable of traveling all over the place and conquering other cultures. And not that birch is going to make you aggressive. It will not make you aggressive. But, you can understand how they became such formidable enemies to people. It's because they had no fear. The concept they had was like, oh, well, if I die, I just go on to Valhalla and it's paradise there. So, how would you ever face an enemy that had no fear?
Totally.
So that's birch. That's an extreme example of birch, but
if you're going into war, come get our
scrub.
scrub.
It's more of a I love it in the scrub because I think it's a great way to start the day, right? If you're in the shower, you're using the scrub, and it's just a reminder of no matter what, you're always divinely connected. Which great, beautiful way to start your day.
Totally. So that's birch.